Not Ghana, not Gambia, they're in Africa. We're in South America, but still third world. The region was first called Demerara. My parents knew it as British Guyana. I knew it as Guyana, land of many waters. One is the Demerara River, running rapid brown from the silt it carries from the mountains through the jungle and out into the Atlantic Ocean. That day, my mom holds my sister's hand and my hand, and we begin tramping. We're tramping. Guyana had become independent in 1966. Look, Charles. Look. That is Mother Sally on the stilts with the long dress on and her arms flailing. And look. That is the mad cow. It's the 70s, but my parents, they're still struggling. Dance up, girls, dance up. I have a feeling, a letter telling us we've been granted visas to America. Come in. I have a feeling we get through, so dance. When we got home that day, I checked the mailbox. Mom, there's a letter. It's from America. Is this it? Dawn and I, we have a calendar next to our bunk bed. And at night, after we say our prayers, we put an X over the day gone by since our parents left. Dawn, she puts a stroke, and then I put a stroke. Dawn, she stopped after 90 days, but I'm still keeping track.
Yeah, that's Ingrid Griffith. The play is Demerara Gold. It's a coming-of-age story about a young 7-year-old girl left to survive in her two grandmothers' worlds in the Caribbean. Her parents, they suddenly get visas to the U.S., and I saw this a couple of months ago, and it will be playing again Saturday, April 2nd at 7:30 p.m. at the South Oxford Space, the Great Room at 138 South Oxford Street in Brooklyn, New York. And I'm very delighted to have on the line with me the star, central performer in Demerara Gold, Ingrid Griffith. Good morning, Ingrid.
Hi, good morning.
I'm so glad that you could be with us. And I should say that this play, this one-woman play, you run through very, very quickly 18 different characters, from a little girl 7 years old to your grandmother, to your mother, to your father, to boys in the neighborhood. It is really fantastic. Tell our listeners a little bit about the play.
Well, it is autobiographical, and yes, I was 7 years old when my parents got visas for the U.S., and I was left, me and my bigger sister, Dawn, we were left in the care of my grandmother. And, very typical Caribbean grandmothers, very, very strict. One was a churchgoer. She went to church every Saturday. We were Seventh-day Adventists. Mm-hmm. And the other was sort of a recluse. She never left her house. But I heard years earlier she was a school teacher. She was a music teacher. When her sons were growing up, my dad and his brothers, she was very active. But when I moved in to live with her, she decided not to leave her house. So she was a bit of a recluse by then. And it's about me, the feisty 7-year-old, dreaming of coming to America, wanting to be with her parents, but waiting for that visa, which took a very, very long time, and having to live in her grandmother's world. They're strict. They're very different than my parents. Mm-hmm. And it's very, strict as every grandmother, I think, is strict.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
So it's about, the kid being the kid and the grandmother being the grandmother. And as I get older, I said, well, I would probably be that way too,
You will. You will when you get there.
Exactly.
Yes, because now I'm granddaddy, and I'm just like my father in many ways. In many ways, I'm not. I'm quite different, but in many ways, I am. So yes, we're
Yeah,
like our forebears, no
that's
question.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So you you take us through your life now. When you're in Guyana, when you're with your grandmothers, you take us through. Now there are two grandmothers,
Yes.
right? So there's
The one I stay with all week for school, the more strict grandmother,
right.
and the other granny I visit on weekends for church.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only if I'm behaving.
Mm-hmm.
If the punishment, because the other grandmother, granny, I, she's a little feistier. She loves to sing and she loves to cook all the good stuff that I like. So I like going over there. So the punishment is if I don't behave for the week, I can't go to Granny.
You can't go to
So
Granny.
that was the thing. But the other thing is once the kid, the 12 becomes, I get older. I'm going to give this away. I'm 12 years old when I leave for the U.S.
Mm.
And I
And that's
rejoin my parents.
significant. And that's significant in and of itself in the story because your sister, as you know, we just broke off there, where your sister had, stopped looking for those letters to come, and she had become a little bit dispirited,
Yeah.
looking and really wanting. Listen, I'm giving up.
Well,
They're not coming.
I remembered when they left, the thing was, we're coming back soon. That was
Mm-hmm.
the promise.
Mm-hmm.
And a 7-year-old, you're thinking soon as maybe next week,
Right.
maybe next month, maybe
Mm-hmm.
before Christmas. But so that doesn't happen. And the longer it gets, the more disenchanted we both became. And my older sister, I think being the older sister, she was just more, no nonsense and more realistic in the sense that, well, you know what, they may never come back.
Mm.
And because I can't, how long is long? How long
Right.
is soon?
Right. Right.
And she became disenchanted, and I was more hopeful because I really was not thriving in Guyana. I
Mm-hmm.
really, really, not that she was, but there was something about me that I needed my parents. I liked being outdoors. I wanted to be on the bicycle. My grandmothers didn't have a bike. We couldn't go anywhere. They were much more protective. So I was more the curious one, I think, and the one that wants to be outside playing instead of doing her schoolwork.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that made me want to hope more. That hope that my parents are going to come back or send for us soon.
And they did.
And yes,
They did.
and they did.
Yes,
They
they
did.
they, they
It
certainly
took a
did.
long time.
And then you get to the young teenager in the United States. I don't want to give away because I want folks to see it. You take them through from your grandmother's house out there with the little boys on the soccer field, and
And cricket.
Oh, sorry, that's right. Cricket, and everything that young kids go through just around that age, and then you're
Right.
taken. Your parents send for you. You come to the United States. What is going on there? It's quite a different world in the United States, different than what you pictured.
Absolutely.
And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my parents got visas for us, but they had to find it in some way because it wasn't really happening. So that was kind of tricky how we got here in the first place. But also the fact that I was becoming more rambunctious. As a 12-year-old, I would be dancing, and my grandmother Ada wrote a letter saying, come and get your kids. I can't take them anymore. England isn't, listening to me anymore. She's doing this and she's doing this, and the whole long list of things that I was doing that she was not happy with.
Mm.
So, yes, when we eventually came to the U.S., it was a culture shock.
Yeah.
As a 12-year-old, I had friends in Guyana. I knew my community. I would look out the window. I knew everyone that passed by.
Mm-hmm.
In America, there was no one. We grew up in the suburbs on Long Island, so the house was like desolate. The street was quiet. The house was quiet. No one was around. It was cold, and it was a very, very different and difficult time for me as a young, an adolescent, and hard to make friends. School was huge. I remember school in Guyana. There were like 25 of us total. And our school was under the principal's house. school in America. It was this huge concrete building with thousands of kids, and you're lost in a maze getting from one class to the other. I mean, it was so different. And so the kid, the 12-year-old, starts to lose her stride.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are other things going on in the household that she witnesses that makes her feel lost. And for years, she was lost.
Well,
so I can't give it away, but I hope your listeners come and see it.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away. I want the listeners to come and see Demerara Gold, A Caribbean Tale. I'm speaking with Ingrid Griffith. That's Griffith, Ingrid Griffith, the one-woman play, Demerara Gold. Now, it's going to be taking place Saturday, April 2nd at 7:30 p.m., right?
That's correct. At the beautiful South Oxford space. I performed there about last summer. I did a reading of this show because I've been touring it for the past year and a half, but I've been tweaking it along the way. So my last time at Oxford Space, South Oxford Space, was last June, and I am really thrilled about where it is. It's a finished product. I'm pleased. There's music. There's video, there are photos from Guyana and the U.S., and it's funny. I just love all that, all the dimensions that I've laid in.
Okay.
These past few months.
Well, that's fantastic. We're not able to give the ticket price as we're a commercial-free station, but it is not very, very expensive at all. You can purchase tickets online at Demgold?
www.demgold.april2.eventbrite.com. Demgold.april2.eventbrite.com. And yes, the tickets are very affordable, and I hope everyone can come and see the show on Saturday in Brooklyn.
All right. So the Great Room at 138 South Oxford Street in Brooklyn. It's convenient to all trains, the B, C, D, G, N, and R. Oh, my goodness, almost all of them. And the LIRR. Ingrid Griffin, thank you so much for being on the program this morning, and all the best.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, it was. I had a delightful time when we went to see it.
I'm so glad.
Yes.
And I really do want to tell you that my story is so many other people's stories.
Absolutely.
And what I really want to do is for others to say or see it and say, I can tell mine too, or I want to tell mine too. This is about empowerment. This is about embracing our voices and our experiences. And these are, it's an experience that needs to be seen and heard like everybody else's experiences.
Mm-hmm. Ingrid, I say it all the time. We are here to tell our truths, tell the stories that we know.
That's right.
Ingrid, thank you so much.
And thank you too. Stay well. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye now.
I saw my grandmother Ada. She was peeping outside my home, but it can't be Ada. She doesn't leave her house. She's still in Guyana. Your teacher's salary could only afford this 2 rooms, and we have to go outside to use the latrine. It's winter in New York. Dress warm, the place cold.
That's Daddy. The place cold. Demerara Gold, Ingrid Griffith. This is the morning show on WBAI at 99.5 and WBAI.org on the web. I'm Michael G. Haskins, your host.